Well, hello and welcome back. Cracker Barrel suffering yet another loss. Its stock opened slightly down today after losing $100 million in value last week. The popular Southern-style restaurant chain catching heat from customers who were very upset about its, quote, woke rebrand. And now we're getting a look at one of the company's top investors, Gilbert Davila, who became a member of the company's board of directors in 2020. He has an extensive background in DEI. According to the company's investor website, Davila heads up a consulting company that is, quote, a leading multicultural marketing, diversity, and inclusion and strategy firm in the United States. Gross. Emily, after all of the missteps that we've seen from various corporations, and you can put Bud Light at the top of the list and just how much market share they lost after a couple of beer cans, did Cracker Barrel really not see this coming?
I guess not. And that's what makes it so disheartening is I thought, A, that we were past that sort of frantic, emergent point in history where these companies felt that they needed to spend a lot of their shareholders' money and income on these firms. I mean, when you talk about what industries have been sort of concretized here, to know that there are such a thing as strategy firms of DEI and that this wokeness has become truly this very important industry, that's where the money went. And the irony is that Cracker Barrel and these companies are paying so much of their money to these firms, and it's a sham, it's a Ponzi scheme, because all they get out of it is the complete gutting of their customer base. What I don't understand is what possessed them to have this kind of refresh in the first place, because there's something to be said for, let's be innovative and let's take this to the new generation. But that doesn't mean an erasing of what the logo was about and what the culture was about, which is why it was beloved. That's the whole thing. You don't mess with what's broken. Apparently, Snoop Dogg took his nephew, I believe, to a Disney movie and then just talked about on a podcast, he said, I didn't sign up for this, beep, because he encountered a woke scene that he said was ridiculous, and I can't believe I subjected a child to this. So This is only going to keep happening if they fail to see the forest for the trees and keep employing these ridiculous figures that are swindlers at best.
Well, is that what they're doing? I mean, did these DEI marketing groups and people like Gilbert Davila, did they go to these corporations and scare them? Like, how are they shaking them down and causing this much needless change?
You know, on Friday, I used a clip of my cousin Vinny when the party says, I heard of grits, but I never seen a grit. Because I really think that was the CEO of Cracker Barrel. I don't think she ever saw a grit in her whole life until they called her up. You want to be CEO of Cracker Barrel? She says, yeah, I will. You know, I mean, honestly, they're so disconnected, and they live in an echo chamber where this is the right thing to do. She's out there saying there's a small minority of folks who are upset about this, and everyone else likes it out in the Hamptons. Why don't these people, right? So it really, to your point, is amazing that they keep doing this over and over. We've seen the collateral damage long-lasting for Target, Nike, Starbucks. It exists to this day. These companies have not been able to turn around. Even Tractor Supply, which somehow decided to ask a consultant from Boston how to deal with the Midwest customers. And they remember for a moment they went DEI completely, but they woke up. You know, one bad day of the stock, and they like, hold up, we're going to invest in 4-H. And, you know, they became a real Midwestern company real quick, but the stock, again, has mostly been sideways for over a year. So it's why they keep doing this, and there's one other quick thing that's part of this, ageism. Ageism. Getting rid of the old dude off the thing is something that everyone thinks is hip right now. In fact, if you're over 50, you lose a job today, there's a 25% chance in this country you'll never work again. Wow. Ageism is a major, major problem. It's the only ism, really, that we should be talking about.
Yeah, I like the overalls, too.
This is a hostile takeover, though. They're trying to New York a Southern brand. It's a Southern brand, started 56 years ago, and they're trying to New York it. Right. You look at what they did recently with the marketing team. They had a pop-up here in New York City in the meatpacking district with a bunch of influencers, right? This is a brand known for Southern cuisine. You've got a nostalgia-based brand, and they're trying to kill the nostalgia. Just like everything the left touches, it dies. They're taking a brand in a restaurant that you go into and it gives you the warm and fuzzy and turning it into soulless and cold. Right. And so and so it's sad to me that they're taking such an iconic brand and they're going to kill it, as evidenced by what we're seeing in the reaction to this.
I have a little bit of a different take on it, to be honest with you, because, and Charles mentioned this, the stock's been struggling for the last year and the company's been struggling for the last year. And their sales were down in particular in the first quarter. So they needed to do something. Was this the right choice? Obviously, considering what just happened to the company stock, looks like it was a bad choice. But, you know, Gilbert Davila, you mentioned, like, what would motivate this person. Well, obviously, that person, Gilbert, has decided to be on the board of a company to effect change that he thinks is the right way to go, that benefits him, benefits his company and his pocketbook by using his power on the board to your point, potentially ruin a great American restaurant. The logo design, cleaning up the restaurants, many analysts had said they needed to actually make some changes to the actual restaurants. Did you need to change the logo? I don't know. I'm a little neutral on that. Clean it up, make it a little simpler. Fair enough. Maybe that was just a mistake on their part. But the CEO's comments about basically telling MAGA, we'll just go eat somewhere else. Not a smart move.
That was a death knell.
Not a smart move.
That's the last nail in the coffin.
But you're taking something that's traditionally Southern cuisine, and now it's like they have like plant-based items and stuff, right? Like it's just it's antithetical to like the whole purpose of Cracker Barrel.
If you want a plant-based item at Cracker Barrel, get the green beans and a sweet potato. They are delicious.
Yes.
It is part of my regular Cracker Barrel order, where my Aunt Kathy has been a server for 2 decades.
Well, if you want to change the logo, fine, but leave the food alone.
Although, do you think anyone ever was driving up to a Cracker Barrel and said, look at that logo, I'm not going in there.
No. I'm going in there, and when I'm done going in there, I'm going to sit on the rocking chair for a good 4 hours and read a book.
Grab me some tchotchkes while you're
Got it. All right, the law enforcement officers who protect us are increasingly under threat themselves. What's behind the disturbing rise in these ambush-style attacks? We're going to discuss next. Stay with us.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole! Whoa!